Hello, 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 and welcome to an RTAppetizer where I did originally film a live fight, but I didn't get upset or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that. Um, I was just it was just a Knackle win. And so I decided that I'm just tired of Knackle because she just ruins every fight she's in because she is either a dead unit or she solos an entire team. You know how I don't know if any of you watch or play the Dark Souls games and like the Elden Ring games. It's like those videos where people put every single boss against Millennia to see if they can beat Millennia, and then Millennia wins. Knackle is Millennia, so I'm banning her now. I'm letting Celilius, how do I pronounce it again? Celilius, uh, through and banning Aiden and Knackle. Uh, I've been told no one uses Celilius anymore, but I've fought almost exclusively Celilius since I banned her, or since I unbanned her. So I don't know what to believe anymore. But today we are facing Mikhail. That's not Mikhail. Uh, it is, I believe, Mikhail. Used to know someone by Mikhail in school. They went for Celilius, LRK Sharun, Dark Corvus, and Stene. I went for Handman, Karina, Zio, Pirate Captain Flan, and LHC. They ban out LHC. I ban out Dark Corvus. Let's jump into it. So Zio is going to be going first, and I am just going to push back the LRK because I noticed that everyone is very slow except for the Celilius. Celilius can do her debuff. She can do as she pleases. Because if she pushes Pirate Captain Flan back, Hand Guy's just going to cleanse. If he pushes back Hand Guy, Pirate Flan's just going to S3, so I'm okay with either. They're going to push back Pirate Captain Flan. I am just going to S3 to get everything up and hope that Sharun doesn't cut. Not that it would matter, but she doesn't. So I'm just going to run my S3 out into the world. They're going to get a barrier, which is annoying, but fine. Sharun counters, which also a little annoying. Karina's just going to throw her S3 into this LRK because I want to get rid of him as soon as possible, because them getting immunity would be very annoying. Sharun's going to take her turn and S3, take away all the buffs, which is fine. This is to be expected from Sharun. The only one it doesn't is Karina. I don't know if this is a low F Sharun or if I just got the immunity resist. Stene shouldn't Soulbring. She theoretically could to try and waste the bomb and get rid of it. They're just going to go into her. Celilius brings Stene because there's no other units to bring. Sharun is going to, pop. But something bad has happened. Something very bad has happened. The Sharun, of all of the buffs she could have given to Stene, gave immunity. So now we're in hyper trouble because this turn should have been wasted by the Stene. And now she just gets to kill everybody because this is a hyper damage Stene, which is bad. Now she gives speed buff. She gave it speed buff and then immunity when their bomb was on her, and then speed buff. And yeah, that's kind of over. My only possible saving grace is that if my Karina has her S2, she doesn't. So yeah, this is just game. That singular immunity proc on um, singular immunity proc on Stene really won them this game. Because if it didn't get immunity, Stene wouldn't be able to kill Zio, Zio would be able to kill Sharun, and then I'd be able to kill the Stene, and I'd have access to her. But the immunity saved him, which is unfortunate, but, you know, one of the many forms of RNG in this game that you just have to get used to. But let's do one more, shall we? This time we are facing fake Seth, as opposed to real Seth, who is a friend of my brother's. They go for C. Lilius, Arwell, Rimuru, Lethe, and Landy. I go for Handman, Karina, LHC, Solitary, and Sharun. I ban out the Landy. They ban out the Solitaria. Let's jump into things. So I ban out Landy because she is an immense form of damage, and I would not like that damage to kill me, if I'm honest. Sharun does jump a little, which is great, because that forces them to push back Sharun. Hand Guy, I don't need to cleanse right now. I saw that the Rimuru is on Benimar's Tachi, which means it's a very high damage Rimuru, so I'm just going to attack down him. They have to go for Sharun here, because if Sharun attacks at all, while she has a buff, which would be the barrier, then Rimuru would proc, which would put up the LHC, which would kill their entire team. So yeah, there were two routes that I could have taken. One of them would have resulted in my LHC immediately exploding, and the other one would have resulted in my... I forgot where I was going with that. I didn't want to S3 yet, because Rimuru is a threat, since it's a high damage one, and I didn't want to do that. It is going to do a lot of damage to Karina, but that's fine. I need to try and get rid of this Lethe as soon as possible. Rimuru did Soul Burn, but that's quite alright. I have to kind of hope that he gets immunity from his S1, which, again, immunity, finding a way to destroy my entire life. Arwell strips the LHC, which is fine. I had hoped that the Sharun wouldn't cut at any point, so I could push up my LHC with the S1, but instead I'm just going to S3, and I've resigned myself to Lionheart dying, which isn't great, but this Lethe is not a threat. Or not too scary, because I do have Sharun, and Sharun is very good at being Sharun. So she is going to S3, strip everyone's buffs, except for Rimuru's, because he apparently now has ER. But I can't focus on Rimuru right now. I need to get rid of this Lethe, because if this Lethe goes into my Karina 2 more times, I'm dead, which would be bad. So they are going to go into the Karina and then go into the Sharun, and Sharun's going to counter and heal up my Karina. My Karina, who was once almost very dead, is now incredibly alive, which tickles me greatly. I'm just going to attack down this Rimuru once again, to make sure he's not the biggest threat in the world. Lethe is going to explode to Venom and Punches, which is just how I like it. Sharun gonna go into Rimuru to stop him from S3ing this turn. And I feel quite confident at this point. They can push back. They're not going to. Sharun counters once again. This time she is going to, again, heal Karina. And now Karina is at full health, which is phenomenal. Just going to start working in on Rimuru, because he is the only damage dealer left. I should probably have gone into Arwell here, but I thought this would defense break. Spoilers, it didn't, which is a little annoying. I should have gone into Arwell, that's my bad, but I expected it to do more damage. If it had defense broke, I think it would have killed the Arwell with Splash. But instead, they're going to stun the Sharun, which is fine. I do not get stunned, which is great. I do not Venom or reset the Arwell, which is a little annoying, but that's quite alright. They can do as they please with Sharun. They're probably going to push her back. But Hand Guy can cleanse. The annoying thing, though, is that Sharun will not be able to reset the Rimuru again. And also, Rimuru will be stealing my buffs. So, we'll have to see what he ends up taking with Karina. Speed buff and attack buff, that's fine. They're going to go into Karina here, so Karina's going to explode. But, like I said at the beginning, I still have Sharun. And Sharun is very good at doing Sharun things. Which is, namely, being great and lovely and cute and pretty. Celelias is going to S3 to get the Vigor buff back up on everyone. It is going to cut Sharun's buffs, but not Hand Guy's. She does counter the Rimuru, heal up again, and then I'm going to go ahead and win the game. And that's the power of Sharun. LHC, didn't need her. Karina, I needed her a lot, but Sharun pulling a lot of heavy weight, and this is why I love Sharun. So thank you for watching this video. I can show you... Oh yeah, she also got me back into Emperor because I fell out. Yeah, this was the one I didn't show you just because it was just Knackle. It was just Knackle doing Knackle things. Like, I think she salvoed every single time. No, she didn't salvo that time because my Karina would have gone and blown her out of the sky. I also think it was a resist. Yeah, there's another counterattack being caused by a duel. I also think it was a resist Knackle. There's a counter, so Lou is dead. I'm gonna go ahead, silence her so she can't cleanse. Solitaria, as long as you don't cause the Knackle to counter. Okay, and then, yeah, Knackle, I believe, salvos after this. But she resists everything. And then she S3s, and then my Karina S3s into her. And it resists the defense break. And my Karina has like 60 effectiveness. But yeah, it's just a Knackle. It's so boring. It's just so boring to win and to lose against Knackle. It's just like, it's not fun. It's really not fun. And they will not nerf her, ever. Especially after the debacle that was apparently the Awakening stuff. Could you imagine them saying they were going to nerf Landy? Do you know how quickly their office would catch on fire if they said they were going to nerf Knackle? They wouldn't even be done with the announcement, and they'd have to evacuate because someone would light their entire company on fire. So we're just going to have to deal with them power creeping Knackle into the ground. So hopefully that'll be fun. But thank you for watching this video. I love all of you. You're my lovely Jonai. And I wish you all the best. Have a good one.